Mr. Harmon, I still have things to take care of, so I'll take my leave now. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, Wang Dong stood up to leave. He had come specifically to meet the miracle doctor. Now that he realized it was just some con man, there was no reason to stay. Uncle Dong, I suggest you listen to Mr. Rhys and stay in Swinton for a few days to avoid any unforeseen accidents, Natasha Harmon kindly reminded. Natasha, you don't need to worry about me. You'd better focus on your own problems, Wang Dong suddenly said with meaning. If I remember correctly, your engagement to Tyler Grant is coming up soon. And knowing that young master's personality, I doubt he'll be pleased seeing you this close to another man. Natasha Harmon frowned slightly. Talk about bringing up the worst possible topic. Uncle Dong, it's just an engagement, not a marriage. If worst comes to worst, I'll just cancel it, she said nonchalantly. Cancel it? That's the Grant family. Have you considered the consequences? Wang Dong looked surprised. What consequences? It's not like they're going to eat me alive, Natasha replied calmly. The Grant family may not do anything to you, but the man next to you, that's another story. You know full well the kind of methods they use. The closer you are to him, the more danger he's in. Wang Dong's gaze shifted to Dustin Rhys, clearly implying something. Humph. I don't believe Tyler Grant would dare pull anything. Natasha's expression turned cold. I'm just offering some friendly advice. What you do with it is your business. Wang Dong said no more. He smiled and turned to leave. Natasha, Wang Dong is right. You should settle things with the Grant family as soon as possible, Mr. Harmon advised. Grandpa, I know what I'm doing. Natasha nodded. Though she had been engaged to Tyler Grant since childhood, she never liked him. If she didn't like him, how could she possibly marry him? She despised arranged marriages most of all. Miss, Edwin Hummer wants to see you. At that moment, a bodyguard knocked and entered. Edwin Hummer? Natasha raised an eyebrow. I was just about to look for him. Didn't expect him to come to me instead. Take him to the lounge. I'll be there shortly. Yes. The bodyguard responded and quickly left. Mr. Rhys, I'm going to sound Edwin Hummer out. You'll act as my bodyguard. Stay alert and act accordingly. She turned to Dustin. Understood. Dustin nodded. After all, today's grand opening was meant to lure the snake from its hole. Now that the snake had shown up, they couldn't miss the opportunity. 3 minutes later, Dustin followed Natasha into another lounge. Inside, Edwin Hummer and Master Lawson were sipping tea leisurely. Behind them stood a pair of twin young men. Miss Harmon, congratulations! Wishing you a successful grand opening. As soon as they met, Edwin Hummer cupped his hands with a beaming smile, putting on his usual facade of friendliness. Your presence is a great honor, Mr. Hummer, Natasha responded politely. At their level, unless things were completely out in the open, it was still necessary to maintain appearances, even between enemies. These men with you look unfamiliar. Where are they from? Natasha turned her eyes toward Master Lawson and his disciples. Oh, he's an old friend of mine, Master Lawson. He usually helps me with some private matters. As for the young men, they're his apprentices. Edwin Hummer introduced them without hesitation. So it's Mr. Lawson, pleasure to meet you. Natasha smiled faintly. Lawson, I have some private matters to discuss with Miss Harmon. You all wait outside, Edwin instructed with a look. Yes. Master Lawson glanced at Dustin before leaving with the twins. You too? Natasha nodded toward Dustin, implying he should leave. Dustin gave a slight nod and followed them out. Both sides clearly had unspoken motives. Heh? So you're Miss Harmon's bodyguard? You don't look like much. The twins eyed Dustin from head to toe like they were sizing up prey. Really? You'll find out soon enough. Dustin didn't say more and headed downstairs. Thunder Ice, follow him. Find a chance to take him out, Master Lawson ordered coolly. To him, someone like Dustin didn't even warrant personal attention. His apprentices were more than enough. No problem. Grinning, Thunder and Ice quietly followed. Dustin descended to the underground parking garage at a leisurely pace. Since the company had just opened, the garage wasn't in use yet. It was quiet and empty. Kid! You sure picked the right place. Walked straight into your grave. Thunder and Ice finally revealed themselves after tailing him. No one was around. perfect for striking. Ever heard of the phrase mantis stalking the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind? Dustin turned slowly, as if he had anticipated this all along. We don't know who the oriole is, but the cicada about to be caught. Yeah, that's definitely you. They grinned menacingly. But before they could make a move, suddenly, a loud clatter of footsteps echoed from the garage entrance. A group of thugs, wielding machetes and steel pipes, charged in fiercely. Heh! That's it! Not even enough to fill the gap between our teeth. Seeing the mob, Thunder and Ice laughed. They weren't concerned at all. Dustin raised an eyebrow, clearly surprised. He didn't need any help to deal with these two. Dustin Rhys! Your death day has come! With a furious shout, Chris Nolan suddenly stepped out from the group. Oh, it's young Master Nolan. What? You wanted to join the fun too? Dustin squinted at him, a bit surprised. Join the fun? Heh. I came to destroy you. Chris growled. I don't recall having any grudge with you. Dustin replied calmly. I don't have a grudge with you. But I sure as hell hate your guts. Chris's face twisted with resentment. Who the hell do you think you are? What gives you the right to win Miss Harmon's favor? What do you have that I don't? I'm treated like a damn dog while you… Why, you brought all these men for that? Dustin looked bewildered. He truly couldn't follow Chris's logic. This was plain and simple jealousy. Of course it's more than that. I've hated you for a long time. You've been hogging the spotlight, and because of you, I haven't been able to win over Dahlia Nicholson. You're nothing but a roadblock in my path. Chris shouted with venom. His resentment had been building up over time. At first, he thought Dustin was just some insignificant punk and didn't pay attention. But after learning Natasha Harmon's true identity, he realized Dustin's presence posed a real threat. Even if Dustin was just a pretty face, being close to Natasha meant he could fan the flames against him. So he decided to strike first, cripple Dustin and remove the threat. I suggest you don't make a move, otherwise you'll regret it. Dustin remained calm and composed, his expression unchanging. From beginning to end, Chris Nolan was nothing more than a clown in his eyes. Humph! I know you're good with your fists, but 2 fists can't beat 4 hands. All these men I hired are top-tier enforcers in the underworld, and they're armed. No matter how tough you are, you're just gonna get hacked to pieces. Nolan sneered coldly. Empty hands versus sharp weapons. It was a completely different game. He didn't believe Dustin could fend off blades and axes. Hey! I don't know what grudge you've got with him, but today, this guy is our prey. You'd better step aside. At that moment, the brothers Spring Thunder and Summer Ice stepped forward. Initially, they thought Nolan had come to back up Dustin. Turned out, the two were sworn enemies. Where'd you two morons come from? Get lost, or I'll have you chopped up too. Nolan snapped. Chop us too? Spring Thunder and Summer Ice exchanged glances and chuckled. Had been a while since we met someone this arrogant. Come on then, let's see just how tough your crew really is. They beckoned with provocative gestures. F***K. You're looking to die. Chop them all. Nolan couldn't be bothered to waste more words. He gave the order immediately. A group of burly men wielding blades, axes, and steel pipes swarmed forward. Let's warm up a bit. Grinning, the twin brothers charged in. What followed stunned Nolan. The 2 unarmed twins charged into the crowd like tigers among sheep, unleashing a brutal massacre. They moved lightning fast, and every punch was crushing. With every blow, one of Nolan's men went down severely injured. The unlucky ones were killed on the spot. What was truly terrifying was that their fists and feet seemed like iron and bronze. One punch created a hole in the wall. One kick bent a steel pipe into a right angle. Were these even human? These were monsters, plain and simple. In just a few minutes, Spring Thunder and Summer Ice had flattened all the hired thugs with overwhelming power. Not a single one could last a round. Their sheer ferocity left everyone speechless. How is this possible? Nolan trembled, his lips quivering. He never imagined these 2 plain-looking guys were so terrifying. What a bunch of weaklings! They weren't even enough to stretch our muscles. The twins muttered, still unsatisfied. They casually glanced at Nolan, making him stumble backward in fright. Coward! They scoffed, ignoring him entirely. Instead, they turned toward Dustin. Now it's your turn. We hope you can give us a surprise, otherwise this is getting boring. Come at me, Dustin said flatly, beckoning with a calm hand. Bro, let me have some fun first. Summer Ice sneered and stepped forward. Seeing this, Nolan, who had just been full of fear, now looked thrilled again. Clearly, the twins' real target was Dustin. Though his own men had been taken out, as long as Dustin suffered too, he didn't care. After witnessing the twins' prowess, he couldn't help but look forward to what came next. Dustin! You think you're so tough? Let's see how you handle these monsters! Nolan cackled. Just then, Summer Ice sprang into action. He crouched slightly, then exploded forward like a hunting leopard, hurling his entire weight at Dustin with a force that could fell an ox. But just as Nolan was getting ready to gloat, Dustin moved. In a flash, he reached out and grabbed Summer Ice by the neck, then slammed him hard against the wall. Bang! A loud crash rang out. Summer Ice's body smashed into the wall, creating a deep human-shaped dent. Ugh! Summer Ice was left dazed, gasping, all his strength drained. His bones felt like they'd shattered. He couldn't move at all. One move. Just one, and he was done for. Humph. Dustin looked coldly at him, gripping Summer Ice like he was holding a chicken. Let him go! Spring Thunder shouted in panic and fury. He launched himself forward and punched Dustin in the back. Thud! A dull sound echoed. Dustin stood firm like a mountain, unmoved. Instead, Spring Thunder was sent flying several meters by the backlash. He slammed into a concrete pillar and spat out a mouthful of blood before hitting the ground. Spring Thunder looked horrified. He glanced at his arm, the one that had punched Dustin, and saw that the bones had been completely shattered. Most of his internal meridians were broken, and his organs had suffered varying degrees of damage. Worse still, an uncontrollable force was now rampaging inside his body like a wild bull. Pfft. Unable to bear it, he coughed up another mouthful of blood. Seeing this, Nolan was utterly dumbfounded. He looked like he had seen a ghost. Just moments ago, the twin brothers had been arrogant and unstoppable. Now, they'd been taken down in the blink of an eye by Dustin. They barely exchanged a single real blow. How could this be? No, it's not possible! Nolan's face turned pale with terror, cold sweat pouring down. He had witnessed the twins take down 20 men like chopping vegetables. They were monsters, he was sure of it. Logically, the two of them should have easily defeated Dustin. So how did they lose instantly? If they were monsters, then Dustin, he must be a monster among monsters. Who the hell are you? Spring Thunder trembled as he struggled to get back up. The casual confidence on his face was gone, replaced by shock and fear. Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine that the full-force punch he just unleashed wouldn't even scratch his opponent. Worse yet, he was the one left gravely injured. Was this guy even human? But their master had clearly told them the man was just a normal martial artist. Why? Why was he this strong? Brother! Run! Just run! At that moment, Summer Ice, who was still pinned against the wall, screamed at the top of his lungs. From the moment they exchanged blows, he already understood. This man's strength far exceeded anything they could have imagined. Just one move had shattered all his meridians. He was already a cripple. Aargh! Spring Thunder let out an unwilling roar. Then, without hesitation, he abandoned his brother and turned to flee. He knew now, he couldn't save him. In fact, he didn't even have the right to die trying. If Dustin was a mountain, then the two of them were nothing but ants beneath it. That one punch had completely crushed his will to fight. I have to tell Master. This man is terrifying. We must not go against him, or we'll die for sure. Driven by sheer survival instinct, Spring Thunder fled the parking garage like a madman. He had only one thought left: inform their master and flee Swinton immediately, never return. Because this man was a force they could never afford to cross. Dustin didn't chase after him. He didn't need to. The man's internal organs were destroyed. Death was only a matter of time. Who are you really? Why are you in a backwater place like Swinton? Summer Ice looked at him like he'd seen a ghost. If he had known someone like this was protecting Natasha Harmon, they wouldn't have dared come within 100 miles of her. Who I am doesn't matter. I'm giving you one chance. Tell me where Master Lawson is, and I'll let you live. Dustin said calmly. Betray my master? Dream on. Summer Ice's eyes turned vicious. Using the last of his strength, he raised his palm and slammed it down on his own head. Crack! A clear snap echoed. Blood poured from all 7 orifices. Summer Ice collapsed, dead. Dustin raised an eyebrow, surprised by the sheer ruthlessness. Without hesitation, he had chosen suicide. Seeing this from the shadows, Chris Nolan trembled violently. He didn't say a word. He turned and ran for his life. If he had known Dustin was this terrifying, he never would have provoked him. And now, he was in deep trouble. ***T. Meanwhile, in the lounge on the 2nd floor of the Triumph Tower, Miss Harmon, something came up at home. "I'll take my leave now," said Edwin Hummer, rising from his seat. "Take care, Mr. Hummer," Natasha Harmon replied, making no effort to stop him and simply watching them go. As soon as they got in the car, Edwin Hummer asked, "Master Lawson, why haven't your 2 disciples sent any word? Maybe they're just taking their time." "Don't worry, they'll be back once they finish the job," Master Lawson replied with a light smile. He had absolute confidence in them. The 2 were twins, perfectly in sync, and devastatingly powerful when they worked together. In all of Swinton, they had few equals. "That better be the case." Edwin nodded and said no more, motioning for the driver to head out. Before long, they arrived at Hummer Villa. But before they could even sit down, a bodyguard came running in, panic in his voice. "Mr. Hummer! Master Lawson! Spring Thunder is seriously injured. He's not going to make it." "What?" Both men's expressions changed instantly. "What nonsense are you spouting? Spring Thunder has reached the intermediate level of internal force. Who could possibly hurt him?" Master Lawson shouted, grabbing the bodyguard by the collar. It's true. He's right outside. Please go see him now or it'll be too late." "Humph!" Without wasting another word, Master Lawson shoved the guard aside and rushed out the door. When he arrived at the villa's entrance and saw the barely breathing Spring Thunder, his face went pale. "Spring Thunder! What happened to you? Where's Summer Ice?" He stared in disbelief. Summer Ice is dead, Master. We were wrong. Run! Quickly, run!" Spring Thunder tried to speak, but suddenly, splurt. He coughed up a mouthful of blood, right onto Master Lawson's face. His head slumped to the side. "Dead, Spring Thunder!" Master Lawson roared in fury, grief flooding his expression. Those 2 disciples were the ones he had personally trained, the future heirs to his legacy. And now, both gone. Why? How did this happen? Who did this? He clutched the corpse and bellowed in rage. "I don't know. When we found him, he was already like this," the guard replied, shaking his head. "Master Lawson, Spring Thunder was quite strong. How could he end up like this?" Edwin asked, walking over. Master Lawson's face twitched. He said nothing at first, crouching to examine the body. "Broken bones, snapped meridians, shattered internal organs. They must have encountered a master of internal force." After the examination, Master Lawson's expression darkened. "You're saying the man with Natasha Harmon is that powerful?" Edwin frowned. "To crush all of Spring Thunder's meridians, he's no ordinary fighter." "I misjudged him," Master Lawson admitted with bitter resentment. "Can you defeat him?" Edwin pressed. "He may have internal force, but he's young. He can't be that strong. With my 40 years of cultivation, I'll kill him myself and avenge my disciples," Master Lawson declared with conviction. "Since you're skilled in witchcraft, I suggest using what you're best at," Edwin reminded him cautiously. He didn't want any more surprises. "Humph! He beat my disciples to death. I'll return the favor with my own fists," Master Lawson growled through clenched teeth. If he knew that Spring Thunder had died from his own punch being reflected, he probably wouldn't be so eager.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slow